God, the clear quality is so stunning. It's really good, dude. Yeah, this is what happens when you give me photo mode. You know, you give me way too much power in this sense. You gotta give me way too much power in this thing. Anyway, hello there, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of Atelier Ryza, Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout. That title is gonna be a mouthful every time I say it. So on the last time with this game, we got started. We met Ryza and her crew. We saved a damsel in distress known as Claudia. And now we're home. And of course we'll get into trouble, but who cares? Who cares about that? When you got this really nice sunset, like, geez. In fact, this is so nice that I'm just gonna press F12. Anyway, before we move on to, you know, continue on with the story, here's a little bit more about photo mode that I should mention. So, you can change the filters, obviously. Nothing really to explain right there. You can change the frames, change the time of day. You can change the depth of field, but I think I'd rather have it on the default like this. You can turn on NPCs and enemies off, and you can even control your character. Anyone who's in the party right now can be accessed for photo mode. So you can basically move around the characters just like this. You can choose to show them either on or off. And you can make them do poses. Such as standing, standing special, happy, angry, sad, surprised, thinking, which is my personal favorite. And the one that I commonly use on my Twitter posts, like thinking Ryza and thinking about life. Just like this. Yeah, no, it's great. It's really great. You can do pose 1 where she's all like smug. That's the best one, honestly. Pose 2, 3, battle, victory pose, level up. There's a lot. There's actually a lot. Like, you wouldn't think it, but like this particular series right here, this probably has some of the most extensive detail for little modes that I've seen in any video game, period. Like, you already have a lot of choices with photo modes and the frames and the filters and the character poses. You can control your character to go into little stances, into whatever you'd like. Like, it's great. I think it's really great. And also, given the amount of DLC that we've obtained, like, believe me, those cost a lot of money, and believe it or not, like, regularly, those would go up to like $100, but thankfully I got them on sale when I was buying the Atelier Ryza series on Steam, because I think with me switching over to the Steam version at the last possible minute when I was supposed to play the Switch version, I was like, well, damn, I had to double dip, and I'm like, jeez. Point is, this basically has some of the most extensive stuff that you'll probably ever see in an RPG, so yeah, it's Xenoblade level, baby.
Yare yare, Claudia も歓迎の宴にご出席か。
そりゃそうだよ。主賓の娘さんなんだから。
また会う約束はしたんだからいいじゃない。
俺たちがひどい目にあった。新しい友達ができた。初めての冒険の終始はトントンってとこかな。
黒字だよ。大黒字。
何？そんなにクラウディアと友達になれたのが嬉しかったの？
まあ、ここじゃ俺らくらいの年の女の子ほとんどいないしな。
もちろん、それもすごく大きいけど。
よう、ライザとその他おまけども。
ポーズ。
誰がおまけだ、誰が。
島を出た途端魔物にやられて流れ者に助けられるような恥さらしが一人前に反論か？
なんでそれを？
守り手たちがみんな船着き場でぼやいてんだよ。身の程知らずのバカガキどもがいい迷惑だってな。
痛い目を見てもまだそんな反抗的な態度か。反省もしてなさそうだな、ライザ。いい加減部をわきまえてこそこそ道の端でも歩くよう心がけるんだな。
どけよ。俺たちはこれからモリッツさんの歓迎の宴に出席するんだ。おとなしくしてりゃいいのに。わざわざ島を出たりするから村中に恥をさらすことになんだよ。
ライザ。
突っ立ってねえで帰ろうぜ。
うん。
Guys, you do realize that you're not actually going to the banquet at all. You're just sort of standing there, like two boys. Boss, I guess there's nothing left to say. Alright, then what's the point of talking to you two then? What's the point? You know what? I gotta say, that's relatable. I hate to use that old, oh my god, that's so relatable joke, but yeah, that is actually, like, that's kind of factually relatable. You know, whenever you have like snotty kids just picking on you, sometimes it can just get to you, you know? Not that I knew anyone snotty, obviously, but, you know, I had my fair share of, you know, the bullies from time to time. But, you know, it's all long gone in the past right now. I don't know why I keep zooming in. Maybe it's because of those, maybe it's just because of those assets. You know, the coat. I say the coat. The coat is just pretty cool. There will be no simping unless it's on my own time. Thank you very much. Oh, God.
恥さらし、身の程知らず、いい迷惑か。島の外に出るって、そんなに悪いことなのかな。そりゃ今の私は、なんてことない私だけど、まず最初の一歩を踏み出さなきゃ、どんな遠くにも行けないと思うんだけどな。はぁ。
ライザー、またレントとタオが来てるわよ。
お邪魔します。
いつもすいません。ミオさん、今日も綺麗っすね。
ライザ、ニュース持ってきたよ。
ニュース？
なんだ、まだしょげてたのか。ボスの言ったことなんか忘れちまえって。
そうだよ。それよりライザが喜ぶと思ってさ。ニュース。
何よ。古い本の図画ってのはどうでもいいわよ。
本当に落ち込んでんのか。
違う。そういう僕の大ニュースじゃなくて、あの二人、アンペルさんとリラさんだよ。
あの二人が旧市街に家を借りたんだとさ。場所聞いてきたから一緒に行ってみようぜ。
錬金術とか言ったっけ？興味あるんでしょ？
錬金術。何グズグズしてんの？行くわよ、二人とも。
まったく、元気になったと思ったらすぐこれだ。
ま、部屋でボケっとしてるよりはいいだろう。俺たちも行くか。
話によれば防電地区から旧市街に入ったら左手の方らしいよ。
And now I feel like the time is right to change clothes. So, since I bought, like, every single little piece of DLC thanks to, well, Digital Deluxe Edition and Kirkin Island, you know, Jam-Packed Pass, I guess, or whatever it's called. So, you'll have immediate access to basically all of the party's outfits. Well, here's the thing. White Lily of the Summer and Divertimid Embrace were added in as free updates. This one basically just to celebrate the fact that Atelier Ryza passed a sales milestone. And this other one is actually based on another character in the Atelier series. Basically, this series is kind of like Final Fantasy in a way, where it may sort of have the same mechanics, but all the characters and stories are entirely different, unless they're direct sequels or part of a different, like, sub-series altogether, so it's all good. You have outfits in different colors. You have the swimsuits, obviously. But I think out of all the ones that are available, I think I like this one the best out of Ryza's, actually. As for Lent, he doesn't really have that much different outfits, except for the fact that he's got Warrior's Day off, so I'm gonna give him that. Muscle Volcano is his swimsuit outfit. And as for Tao, he has this really cool looking. He has really cool looking things on it. That's actually really cool. But he also has a Book Fairy, which also makes him look like Link for a second, or maybe a Kokiri from Ocarina of Time. So that's kind of cool. I think I like this one the best, actually. I think I really do like that one the best. So, there is another costume that I'm neglecting to mention, and also, unfortunately, I don't really have. Is the fact that Ryza actually has this shirt. This Puni shirt. I'm not really entirely sure how you get this one. Basically, I think it's more like a Digital Deluxe Edition thing. Or maybe it's just like a pre-order bonus or something like that. Or maybe I'm thinking of another game in the series. I'm not entirely sure. But it's there, so I may not have it, but you might have it. So that's your deal.
ライザ、どこに行くつもりだい？
お母さん。
今日は畑を手伝うって約束しただろう？お父さんが待ってるんだから早く支度をし。
まあまあ母さん、そう怒鳴らなくてもライザには聞こえているよ。
Oh yes, my favorite character in RPG history, Carl.
あなたがそうやって甘やかすからこの子は。
私、今日は大事な用事があったりなかったりなんだけど。
ああ、やることはたくさんあるぞ。まずは水汲みに畑の水やりからだね。
まずはってとこから重労働なんだよ。今日一日くらい畑も頑張ってくれるんじゃ。
ライザ、畑は生き物なんだよ。お前は一日飲まず食わずで頑張れるのかい？
そりゃそうだけど。
お前には何より真剣に畑と向き合う心が足りない。向き合って耳を傾けると、そこの草むしりをしてあの畝が壊れてるよなんて声がたくさん聞こえてくるだろう。その声に応えて畑仕事をしていると、やがて自分が畑の一部になったようだ。
あなた。
どうしたんだいミオ？
どうしたじゃないよ。またライザに逃げられて。まったくどうしていつもああなんだろうね。
まあ、あの年頃の子には畑仕事は退屈かもしれん。だが根気よく説得すればいつかきっと。
ごめんね、お父さん。私はまだ当分その境地にたどり着けそうにないのよ。
I just love the fact how she nopes right out of that. Like that's so funny. She's like, you know, Carl's just like, hey, take a look at this farm thing, you know? You gotta take care of it. And then Ryza's just like, nope. She's just like, absolutely not. I'm pretty sure we were all like that. We wanted to break out of our boredoms and stuff and blah blah blah. Mostly like I did. Mostly like I used to probably wanted to do one of these days. One of these days, I say. One of these days. So, you know. That's a thing. That's a thing that happens. You know, you just spend your day on a farm, and then you're like, and then as soon as your dad starts talking about how the glorious farm will save our asses one day, you'll just be like, nope, I'm out of here. Bye. That's just really funny to me. That's so funny. Here we are at the old town. Yeah, the old town, you know. So we can find plenty, and I mean plenty of discoveries here. But, you know, the only discovery that you should probably check out is the fact that you got this view. I'm sorry, I just like the views in this game. Not as good as Xenoblade, but you know, they're views. They're views nonetheless. Hello, kids. Bye, kids. And hello, plot.
ここで間違いないな。なんだかドキドキしてきたぜ。
なんでレントがドキドキしてんのよ。
ライザだけじゃなく、僕らにも期するものってのがあるんだよ。
タオにも？まあいいか。ごめんください。
ん？空いているぞ。勝手に入ってこい。
お邪魔します。
3人揃ってお出ましか。こっちはちょうど最低限住める程度に片付けたところだ。
こういう作業は面倒くさい。
そう言うな。野宿は好きじゃないんだ。で、そちらは私たちに用があるといった顔だな。
お願いします。どうか。
リラさん、あの魔物を倒した時のような実践的な戦い方を俺に叩き込んでくれ。
クリント王国の遺跡調査をしてると聞きました。それならこの本を読めるんじゃありませんか。
私に錬金術を教えてくださ
い。どっから答えるかな。あいにくだが私たちはそこまで暇じゃ。
どうしたアンペル。
お前さん、この本どこで手に入れた。
どこって地下の書庫に。まさか本当にこれ読めるんですか。
まあな。リラ、ここは当たりかもしれん。
そうか。そこのお前、この近辺の案内ができるなら戦士の心得を教えてやってもいいぞ。
本当ですか。やったー。やります。何でも頑張ります。
あとはそっちのジョーちゃんだが。錬金術か。俺ばかりが教えてどうなるわけでもないからな。
私も頑張ります。どんなことだって。
まあ待て。錬金術は他の技能と同じように、いや他よりも如実に素質の有無が成否に直結する。簡単に言えば、いくら努力をしても素質がなければどうにもならないってことだ。
そんな。
だが逆に言えば、素質さえあれば当たり前にできる。それを確かめて、もし見込みがあるなら。
教 えてくれるんですね。
ああ、だが素質があればだぞ。お前さんが見込みありなら私も助かる。まずはそうだな、初歩的なことから教えるか。錬金術というのは無より有を生み出す術だ。
なあタオ、どういうことかわかるか？
さっぱり。というか僕は錬金術より早く本の読み方を教えてほしいんだけどな。
やはりいきなり理屈だけ説明しても無理か。
いっそ調合からやらせよう。どう見てもこいつは体で理解するタイプだ。
そうだな。どのみち素質を確かめる必要がある。お前さん、名前は？
はい、ライザリンシュタウト、ライザです。
よし、ライザ。これから私の言う材料を取ってくるんだ。船着き場の近くの森にあったはずだ。
船着き場の近く、魔石の森かな。わかりました。
取ってくるのは七思想だ。錬金術の基本は採取と調合。まずはその一つ、採取からだ。
わかりました。やってみせます。
すぐそばの森での採取だぞ。そんな気張るな。
いえ、それでも私の第一歩なので。
ああ、そうだ、そこの小さいのちょっと確認したいことがあるんだが、いいか？
でかいの、お前には私からだ。
はい、何でしょうか？
それじゃあ七思想の採取頼んだぞ。
The main crux of the game is about to start, baby. Even a common pot can be used as an alchemy cauldron in a pinch. But it'd be better if you had the tools to make sure you can heat it up slowly. Exactly. Look at how big this thing is. It's huge. Just like those. Empo bought so much candy again. He's the last person you expect to have a sweet tooth. Yeah, no joking. I can tell he might like candy. I don't know. Dude really likes his candy, bruh.
まだ恥ずかしげもなく3人でうろついてるのか。
今度はお揃いでどこにお出かけだ？古城の飛竜か乾きの悪魔でも退治に行くのか？
魔石の森よ。
近所で冒険ごっこでもするのか。対岸でひどい目にあってさすがに懲りたか。だいたい魔石の森？あの船着き場の近くの広場だろ。あんな場所を森などと言ってる時点で程度が知れるな。
言ってなさいよ。もう構ってやる暇はないんだから。行こう。
じゃあな、竜や悪魔はお前らに任せるぜ。
なんだあいつら、本格的にいじけちまったんすかね。ボスさん？
We have the guideboard tutorial. You've unlocked guideposts. You'll find guideposts scattered across the land, which will let you warp to notable locations you visited before. You can also press the 2 squares button, I guess. Is it called the view button? I'm not really sure. Basically the select button to return directly to Ryza's room. So, those flowers that we mentioned last time, utterly pointless. Like, why would they even set up those things? Why would they even set up those things in order to, just for you to get that ability, like, right away? See, with just a simple press of the button, and with barely any loading at all, you can just return to your room right here. And right now, so... I don't get what that whole deal was. I mean, I never really use those things anyway, but... There you are. And now this is the whole point where Kirkin Island is basically almost entirely open up to you. Like, you could go to various locations around the island, such as Secluded Farm. Of course, you can't really do anything yet until you've learned the basics of alchemy there. That's when the real fun will start, but for now, we should just go over to Fairystone Forest. Thankfully, there's a guidepost right there. And here we are. Simple as that.
何度も遊んで見慣れた場所だけど、目的を持って眺めるとまた違う感じがするわね。
採集だっけか。どんなものを取るのかちゃんと覚えてるよな。
もしかして私のことバカにしてる？
ライザは勢い優先で足元がおろそかってのがよくあるパターンだからな。なあタオ。
まあね、大丈夫そうならもういいかな。僕アンペルさんから聞かれたことを調べに家に戻るよ。
実は俺もリラさんとの戦闘訓練の準備があんだよな。ここなら危なくないしライザだけでもやれるだろ。
二人とも張り切っちゃってまあ。
それじゃあ頑張ってね。
さーて、それじゃあ取りまくるわよ。
The first part of any Minecraft-based stuff is gathering. You'll often find synthesis materials laying around on the field. Gathering is the act of picking these up. To gather things, you just simply press A to pick them up, or press X to take a swing at them. If you see something shining in the environment, press A to gather it. But A won't work on everything. Sometimes you'll need to press X in order to take a swing at it instead. You can press and hold X for a charge swing, which will let you potentially gather multiple materials at once. Something that I didn't really know until my last playthrough. Also, gathering the same gathering spot may provide different items if you have special gathering items equipped. Try out lots of different things at each location to see what kinds of stuff you can find. This is merely a taste of what's to come. So here, of course, obviously, all you'll do is to get nameless grass. That's really all we can do. You just got to gather up a lot of these just by swinging the staff around, and so on and so forth. And it's like she's talking directly to the player as she's going along.
どうだった？初めての採取は。
楽しかったです。今まで気づかなかっただけで、そこら中に面白いものがあるんだなって。
なるほど、面白いものか。それを感じられるなら、あるいは。
何です？
いや、もったいぶってもしょうがない。早速ライザの錬金術師としての素質を試してみよう。まずは私のやることを見ていろ。
What we got here is one of the most basic forms of alchemy, the recipe for green supplement. Alchemy allows you to create something from nothing, but if you don't follow the proper steps, you're doomed to fail. Pretty obvious. So watch carefully to make sure that doesn't happen. So here is basically the whole crux of these games. Crafting. So what we have here is what's known as a material loop. Alchemy is about adding the right items to the material loop in order to create whatever you desire. First, we'll add the nameless grass, which you've gathered earlier, into the loop. I'm sure this is obvious, but you'll need to possess the necessary materials, obviously. If you find anything useful, just be sure to get plenty of it. Alright, so now, toss them in. So, once you've done that, you can actually add another one. I'm doing this not by myself, by the way. So, did you see that? By adding a second nameless grass, a new material loop connected and unlocked its power. Of course, it doesn't mean that you should just add a whole bunch of strong materials at random. You need to consider how a material might connect to the material loop and add the appropriate ones. It will go by much faster if you do it yourself. I prepared some water for you to use with the connected loop. Of course, I still do this not on my own. Most recipes will tell you exactly how many of each material you'll need for a synthesis. Green supplement at least requires at least 3 materials in total, so adding the nameless grass and the water did the trick. Finally, you need to mix the cauldron and begin the actual synthesis just by pressing a button. Also, get used to this. Don't get used to this because this is basically the only time that Empo will show up in that sort of menu screen. Just like that.
七思想と水を使ってこの中和剤が出来上がるというわけだ。次は自分でやってみろ。
いきなり？今見たばかりですよ。
この程度なら見よう見まねでできる。素質さえあればな。さあ。
それじゃあ。よーし。これも。これが私の第一歩なんだ。何作っちゃおうかな。
To synthesize an item, you'll need its recipe and the alchemy level higher than the item level. You also need to toss additional ingredients into the material loop so that the recipe doesn't mention. Check the icon to see how many materials you'll have to add. Once all the icons are blinking, you can press the start button to start the actual process. If you're missing any of the requirements, then the item will turn red, so keep an eye on that while preparing to make things. So, of course, we just watched how a green supplement is made. And here's another thing to it. I know it's a lot to explain right now, but this is all necessary. Each loop has one of 4 elements: fire, ice, lightning, or wind. Fire is red, ice is blue, lightning is yellow, and wind is green. Adding materials with the same element as the material loop will let you add to its power, also known as the element value. Now then, let's add nameless grass to the loop, just like this. So with that, we increase the element by 1. Increasing the element value will unlock extra benefits such as new item effects and higher quality. Also, some material loops require certain elements and values too. Once you get used to the whole process of alchemy, you should keep an eye out for conditions that will let you connect material loops. So, do it again. Basically just like we did last time. So now that it has a high enough wind value, you've unlocked synthesis quality plus 5, which is an effect. And the neighboring material loop. So, yeah. Those will add plus 5 to the quality of the final synthesized item. The higher the item's quality, the stronger its attack or healing amount will be. So try to roll for the highest quality that you can. Next up is the water. And with that, we can now synth. And bada bing! You get this nice artwork by the official artist, as well as increasing your alchemy level.
こっちも当たり。いや、こっちこそ本当に当たりか。
それってつまり。
素質あり、合格だ。お前さんは錬金術師になれる。いや、もうすでに錬金術師だ。駆け出しではあるがな。や
ったー！これからよろしくお願いします、先生。
残念だが先生にはなれない。私はお前さんに教えられることがほとんどないんだ。え？どう
いうことですか？
私は怪我で腕を悪くしていてな。初歩ならともかく繊細さを要求される高度な調合は行えないんだ。
そんな。せっかくいろいろ教えてもらえると思ったのに。
そう落ち込むな。素質のある人間なら経験を積んでゆけばいくらでも調合のレシピをひらめくさ。
本当ですか？
ああ。とにかく今は数をこなせ。何度も調合して慣れれば そのうちお前さん自身の錬金術も見出せるだろう。
私自身の錬金術。
私も先生は無理だが助言者くらいなら務まる。だから気軽に頼れ。敬語もなしでいい。
わかりました。じゃなくて、わかった。改めてこれからよろしく、アンペルさん。
そうだ、この本を渡そう。錬金術の基礎の基礎といったものだが、いくつかのレシピが載っている。
いいの？ありがとう。
私にはもういらない本だから気にするな。それより載っているものを片っ端から試して調合になれるんだ。それを一通り調合し終えたら、次はそこいらの本でレシピがひらめくか試してみろ。
そこいらの本で調合のレシピを？
専門書以外の本も錬金術師の視点で見ることによりレシピをひらめくことがある。いわば発想の訓練だな。何の変哲もないものでも見方を変え独自な作り方を体得すれば、それはもう錬金術なんだ。この村にも本を売っている店の一つくらいあるだろう？
あるよ。ボーデン地区にフレッサさんの雑貨屋が。多分本もちょっとは売ってると思う。
ならそこで適当な本を買って目を通してみるといい。思いもしない何かがひらめくかもしれんぞ。
わかった、やってみる。まずはもらった本を家で読んでみてからだけど。
And that is just a taste of what's to come here. So next time on Atelier Ryza, we are going to, we'll head to Fresher's store, get some things, and hopefully we'll get to see what this is really all about. See you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.